harm, no foul. I'm just out here doing some free advertisement for the people, and they didn't want no free advertisement. So.
Yeah, we got a call about your videotape on their property. Do you have
No, I'm not on their property. I never step on nobody's property.
Oh, okay.
No, sir.
No, I've just got the call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Do you have a driver?
Well, I don't show my ID. I don't do nothing wrong. You understand? I'm filming in public, giving people free advertisement, and they approach me. And if you could just tell them that I'm not doing anything wrong, and
But you weren't on the property.
no, sir. I'm very careful not to do that. I'll pull GIS surveys, and been doing this a long
What are
time.
you videoing for, if you don't mind me asking?
First Amendment, protected activity. Just
do it like
yeah. Free advertisement.
Do you live around here? Are you from here?
I'm not from around here. Most people know me. I do this. I go around and show people right from wrong, wrong from right, and when they say they call the police, I don't leave. Yeah.
But you were never on the property?
No, I'm very close. Never ever to do that. Matter of fact, as far as I was right there at the edge of the curtilage, the GIS survey starts. Okay, if you just explain to them I'm not doing nothing wrong, and we'll be good to go. What was your name, badge number? That's how you can tell, because Georgia Power can't come on your property unless. Hey, buddy, you doing all right? Good.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video exposes a serious and growing problem. How many police officers already have their minds made up before a single word is spoken? From the moment they approach a civilian, the decision is set, the narrative is chosen, and the facts are often twisted to justify it. No matter how calm you are, no matter how much evidence you provide, some officers will lie about the law just to pressure you into giving up your rights. This isn't about safety, it's about control. But pay attention, because this situation changes fast when they encounter someone who actually knows the law. Before we get into it, make sure you support the channel, because videos like this are the reason public awareness matters. This encounter starts calmly, but it quickly reveals how fragile civil rights become when ego enters the conversation.
What's your name, badge number?
Deputy Waters.
Waters, okay.
94524.
Good, man. It's out doing public photography, looking around, giving some free advertisement, and I didn't want to leave when they called the police on me,
Okay. Well, what is it that you're looking for?
Free advertisement, just giving people free advertisement, taking video, taking pictures in public. Our rights were so important to, they made the First Amendment the first one instead of, so if you don't exercise your rights, they're going to go away, and that's just all I'm doing. Been doing it a while.
Yeah, well, when you're on private property.
Well, I never, I'll be honest with you. I got the GIS survey, their property line starts. I was telling him, you got the curtilage, you got the center line, then you count, I think, 23 feet back. And then the best way to do it is go by the telephone poles. No telephone poles is going to be on private property. So anytime you get your... No, I stand right there on that curtilage. Yeah, as far as I go, man. Been doing this a long time. I know right from wrong, right. That's what I try to teach people. Now, I walk all the way down this road, and I got a lot of good phone numbers. They might get some phone calls. They might say, man, good job. And if you need some paint and body work, but just people here just don't believe in the First Amendment. And I told them what I was doing.
The man involved makes it clear from the start. He is standing on public property, filming openly, and engaging in a First Amendment protected activity. He explains that he is simply recording video and giving what he calls free advertisement, something completely legal in public spaces. When questioned, he calmly states that he has not stepped on a private property and has taken steps to verify boundary lines using GIS surveys and visible markers. This is not his first time doing this. He knows the rules, he knows the law, and he knows where property lines begin and end. Despite this, officers continue pressing him with unnecessary questions. Where he's from, why he's filming, what he's doing, questions that have absolutely no legal requirement behind them. This is where casual conversation starts turning into unlawful scrutiny.
What did they say to you when it came out?
Get out of here. We don't want you here. You might be trying to steal something. Get off my property. And I explained to him where I was, and then I come over here on this side and wait on him, and then be on my way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I do this all over the place,
Right.
Having fun, taking pictures. I mean, look, you got a Nova, you got a Firebird, old as me and you. Who wouldn't want to see that? That's going to get a lot of people to watch it, Okay. Well, y'all be safe.
Well, just hang tight for me for a
Okay,
minute.
you're fine.
Did you give him some ID?
I don't have to do that. That's another thing I was explaining to him. Unless I've broken the law, you don't have to ID in the state of Georgia. You know, am I being detained?
Well, for the moment, yes.
For what crime?
Until we find out what's going on.
To what crime am I being committed?
We were called because you were on their property.
Right, and he determined I wasn't.
Okay.
Am I
Just
still-
hang tight. Just a minute, we'll get you out
Am I
of here.
being detained for an unlawful reason? Yes or no?
Right now, you're being detained because you were on their property, and we're trying to find out what's going on.
Okay, and I can prove that I wasn't on their property, and they can't prove that I was. Or, you know, there again, I mean, issue me a trespass, I'll be on my way, and then we'll go to court. But, you know, this ain't my first rodeo.
Now, this is where things start getting serious. The man explains that employees told him to leave and accused him of stealing, even though he was legally positioned on public property. Instead of investigating properly, officers rely entirely on the business owner's claims. This is a critical mistake. Rather than verifying facts, the officers begin treating suspicion as guilt. When asked for identification, the man correctly asserts his rights, explaining that Georgia law does not require ID unless a crime has been committed. At this point, the officer escalates the situation by stating that the man is being detained without being able to articulate a single crime. This is not confusion. This is a failure to follow constitutional procedure, and it sets the stage for a clear Fourth Amendment violation.
Can I get a supervisor?
Yes, sir.
Unless I'm not being detained, I'm free to go, I'll leave.
Stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They don't want you to come back on their property. Have you provided us with any other information?
I've never been on their property.
Okay. Well, it's private property.
I've never been on their property.
Hang on.
Okay,
If they advise us they don't want you on your property,
that's fine.
we're going to tell you that you can't go on their property.
That's fine.
Okay. Can I see your ID,
You
please?
don't have to have my ID
Okay,
to
I-
issue a trespass.
Yes, sir, I do. I need to
If you're
identify you.
under threat of arrest, I'll give my ID. I'm with them supervisors, so they all don't get in trouble.
Okay.
Oh, careful, careful, careful. Holy crap.
We just, so we can document it, we just want to.
I understand that, but why would you violate my rights? That's my Fourth Amendment right. They're violating my First Amendment.
All we got a call, we had to respond.
Right, but I didn't call you.
But they're stating you were on their property. That's why I went and talked to them. They said that when I walked back over, you were standing on their property.
No, I was standing right
Yeah,
there.
you were standing in the parking lot. I'm telling you what I saw.
Now, what happens when we go to court? Well, let's say I sue you, I sue them, we go to court and find out I wasn't there, and you lose your qualified immunity because you didn't investigate. Investigating would be...
Listen to this part closely, because it happens all the time. The officer admits the man is being detained until they figure out what's going on. That is not lawful detention. That is fishing. Detention requires reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime, not a complaint and a guess. The man repeatedly asks the most important question, "What crime have I committed?" And every time, the answer falls apart. He even offers a lawful solution. Issue a trespass warning if justified and let the courts decide. Instead, officers continue holding him, demanding identification and ignoring evidence that could immediately resolve the situation. This isn't law enforcement, it's ego enforcement. And every second that passes turns this encounter into a stronger civil rights violation.
Okay, turn the camera off, show me you wasn't on their property from start to finish, and you're free to go. Why haven't you said that? You're taking their word for it. I can prove mine, they can't prove theirs.
Morning, sir.
How are you? What was your name and badge number, sir?
Sure, it's Staff Sergeant Johnson, 93159.
Hey, Johnson. I was explaining to them, I'm out here exercising my rights, First Amendment right. Private property starts about 1.2 foot on the other side of that telephone pole per government document survey. Well, anyway, I did my homework. I'm down here giving some people free advertisement. They called the police to me. This deputy here legally detained me for 18 minutes and 32 seconds. For no suspicion of nothing. He told me that I had to show him my identification to be trespassed. I explained to him I was on the curtilage of that road. Right there, their property starts at the front tire of that VW. And I'm trying to exercise my rights. Both of them gentlemen stood in a auditorium or courthouse with their hand on a Bible, and they swore an oath to protect my civil rights.
Yes, sir.
He's wanting my Fourth Amendment violated. He's wanting my First Amendment violated. And they called the police to me and lied. I got 28 minutes of video that shows me doing exactly what I'm doing right now on public property, exercising my right as an American.
And any time that you go on their property?
As tensions rise, the man points out exactly what the officers are failing to do: investigate. He explains that real investigation would involve reviewing the video footage and confirming property boundaries, not blindly trusting accusations. Instead, the officers double down. One officer even claims to have personally seen him on private property, directly contradicting physical evidence and recorded video. This is where qualified immunity starts to crumble. When officers ignore evidence and rely on assumption, lawsuits become inevitable. The man explains this clearly, warning that taking one side without verification exposes officers to legal consequences. This is no longer about filming. This is about accountability, constitutional literacy, and the dangerous habit of choosing convenience over truth.
Hey, sir, I'll look. He knows exactly who I am.
Which one?
To the left.
Okay.
And I told him I'm gonna file a formal complaint on him and him. And y'all have never, ever had a problem with Columbia County.
Right.
Ever. And once you realize who I am and what I'm doing, and it really makes y'all look bad, man. And I'm legally detained for no crime. That's a
So when they got the call from
right.
the business owner.
Right. And to this second, this deputy here to this second says that their property starts in the road. That he's seen me on the property. That's what's causing the uproar.
I got you.
That's what's causing the uproar. He don't know where GIS survey starts. You can't put a fence up and keep Georgia Power out. You can't put a fence up and keep, the fire hydrants out. That's what I'm doing. And I'd like to be on my way, safe in my papers, and, that's where I'd like to be.
I got you.
I've been detained too long for a crime I hadn't committed, and these people think it's funny, and
As long as you haven't been on their property, that's fine.
absolutely.
Because you're outside their property, and you're legally doing what you need.
Absolutely. Can you explain that to them so they don't violate anybody else's right?
And they don't want you on their property.
Absolutely. And I don't go on
That's
that.
why
A supervisor finally arrives, and the tone shifts. The man calmly but firmly explains everything: the surveys, the boundaries, the phone poles, the road curtilage, and the oath officers swore to protect civil rights. He makes it clear that he has extensive video proof showing he never entered private property. He also explains that he was detained for an extended period without reasonable suspicion, which directly violates the Fourth Amendment. This moment exposes the real issue. Not the call, not the complaint, but the lack of training and understanding of constitutional law. Once the supervisor acknowledges the facts, the justification for detention collapses instantly. The truth was there the entire time. It was just ignored.
I'm just saying a criminal trespass warning. So you've been warned.
I've been warned the first time that don't get an ID. The second time you do. See, he didn't know that. He didn't know that.
I'm good to go with you if you're.
Well, I'm good to go. Am I still detained? Thank you. Well, and thank you. I'll wait till y'all leave and then I'll leave.
You got it.
Have a good day.
Now, as you can see, this officer approached the situation with his mind already made up. Evidence didn't matter. Law didn't matter. What mattered was authority and ego. The officer was fully prepared to violate this man's rights by demanding identification for a trespass warning, something that is plainly unlawful. So ask yourself, was this ignorance or was it intentional? Either way, the result is the same: a citizen unlawfully detained for exercising protected rights. This is exactly why knowing the law matters. This is why channels like this exist. If you don't exercise your rights, you lose them. Support the channel, share this video, and help educate others, because awareness is the strongest defense against abuse of power.